So good morning, everyone. It seems number of students are very less. Okay. Okay. So let me start with today's topic. I have already discussed about the transportation of livestock species like buffaloes, sheep, goat.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
So now, now it is now it is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in last class, I have already explained about the transportation of different livestock species like dairy animal and horse equine. Then about buffaloes also. So sheep and goat also food already explained.
Sir, your voice is
Now
breaking.
today I will explain the transportation of. Okay. Now it is okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, a little bit.
Okay. Okay. If it is not audible, then you please tell me. Okay. You just otherwise you write in the comment box. Okay. So today I'll be explaining about the transportation of poultry. Okay. So poultry transportation is very important and very sensitive also. Okay. So poultry mostly the chicks. Okay. The chicks means what is chick? The newborn poultry. Okay. Newborn poultry is called chick. Then what is poult? Poult? I think this terminology I think already discussed by madam. What is poult? Poult? Somadip.
Yes, sir.
What is poult? Poult? No idea. Okay. What about Nivedita? What is poult? Poult? Poult. So newborn poultry is called chick. Then the newborn turkey. Okay, newborn of turkey it is called poult. Okay, so transportation of poultry as well as chick it is very sensitive. Okay, so as in picture also it is showing. You see, these are the newborn chick. Okay, newborn chick in the hatchery itself. Okay, so from hatchery it is transported by either vehicle or by flight or other means of method. Okay, so how to pack in the different boxes. So these boxes are called cover cardboard. Okay? These are made of cardboard. So these are special type of boxes which usually used for transportation of poor chicks, newborn chicks from one place to another place. Okay, so then again it is loaded in the vehicle for transportation purpose. So this is the whole process how the chicks are being transported. Okay, from the hatchery to the farm. So first of all you have to know the behavior of the newborn chick. Okay, so let me explain the behavior of the newborn chick first. Why the slides are coming or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is coming. So behavior of the new or day old chick is very important before transporting the chick from one place to another place. Okay, so first of all you remember the chick which is coming out from the egg, it is from the yolk. Okay, yolk, the yellowish portion of the egg. Okay, that is the yolk. So from the yolk only the chick used to come out. Okay, used to develop. Okay, so in the day old chick, some remaining portion of yolk used to be there. Okay, so you please remember some remaining portion of the yolk used to be there. So that portion is available with the chick. Okay, some portion of the yolk is available with the chick, and that remaining yolk should be absorbed properly. Okay, if it is not absorbed after hatching properly, then there might be chances of getting infection, okay, either some bacterial infection or other pathogenic infection, okay. So the yolk in the remaining yolk of the newly hatched chick must be absorbed properly, okay. So that yolk supplies the energy to the new or day old poultry, okay. So that unabsorbed yolk, it supplies energy to the newly born chicks, okay. So you see, the old poultry hatches with a build of food and water supply in the form of a yolk sac inside their bodies, okay. So I already explained. So remaining portion, some portion of the yolk used to be present, okay, in the newly born chick. If properly cared for, they can survive for a few days without additional feed or water, okay. Means the chick can survive for a few days without any additional feed or water, okay. So this point you please remember. So while transporting the chick, one should not provide feed and water to the newly born chick, okay. If feed and water is provided to the newly born chick, then what will happen? The remaining yolk will not absorbed properly. Then chances of infection will increase and subsequently the chick may die also. So you please remember. So they means from outside source, one should not supply any water or feed for at least for 24 hours, okay. Then next point is hatchling, okay. Hatchling, the newborn one, have a high internal body temperature, okay. So what is the normal body temperature of the chick? Any idea? Somadip?
Yes, sir.
What is the internal body temperature of newly born chick or poultry, for adult poultry?
Sir, it is for around 40 degrees centigrade.
40? No. So around 38 to 40 for all the other animal like cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, okay. But for poultry it is 47 degrees centigrade, okay. So their body temperature is quite high than the other species, okay, other animal, okay. So for newborn chick also, they have a high internal body temperature, okay. So their body temperature is high, okay. So if the environment temperature is below means below their body temperature, then they will suffer from cold stress, okay, means shivering, okay. Then for that reason, the environmental temperature should be maintained properly while transporting the chick from one place to another place, okay. So you remember the external temperature must be kept constant for them, okay. Means it should be equal to the body temperature, okay. If it is less than body temperature, then also they will feel cold stress, and if it is more than their internal body temperature, then they will suffer from heat stress, okay. So it should be constant, okay. It should be at their body level, okay. Then the environment that is too hot or too cold can cause heavy losses at the hatchery during transport or at the farm, okay. So you please remember the environment is very, very important at the hatchery also, during transport also, and at the farm level also. So now I am explaining the transportation. So during transportation, one should not provide extra feed and water to the newly hatched chick, okay. Then the temperature should be maintained at their body level, okay. Means if the body temperature is 47, then the environment temperature also should be 47. Otherwise, they will feel from heat or cold stress. Then ventilation. Ventilation is very, very critical for the newly hatched chicks and poults. So otherwise, if ventilation is not proper, then it may create some problem like heart and brain damages, okay, and ascites and death, okay. Ascites is nothing but accumulation of water in the abdominal cavity. Okay, it is called ascites. When there is an accumulation of water in the abdomen, then it is called ascites. So these are the some factors needs to be considered before transporting the newly hatched chick from one place to another place. Okay, you please remember the chicks and poults. Poults means the newborn turkey. Okay, newly born turkey. So chicks and poults shall be packed and dispatched immediately after hatching and shall not be stored in box for any length of time before dispatch. Okay, means after loading in the boxes, one should not okay, dispatch. So it should be transport as quickly as possible. The next is for chicks and poults shall not be fed or watered before and during transportation. Okay. So you please remember this is very important point. Okay. So chicks and poults shall not be fed and watered before and during transportation. Why? Because of the unabsorbed yolk. Okay. So if you are supplying the extra water and feed, then that the remaining yolk will not absorb properly, then it will create or it will attract the pathogen. Okay, so that's why the unabsorbed yolk should be absorbed properly. Okay, and the last point is every effort shall made to ensure the chicks and poults arrive as quickly as possible at the dispatch site. Okay, so means it should be transported as quickly as possible. Okay, so now you see the special arrangement of the box. Okay, you see these holes are made for proper ventilation. Okay, and these are the this one is the partition. So if you are transporting the chicks, then in a cardboard box, then there should be partition in between the different groups of the chicks. Okay, so what is the purpose of this partition? Otherwise, while transporting, because of the balance, okay, they may cornered in the one place. Okay, there may be a overcrowding or overstepping. Okay, so because of that problem, partition should be proper. Otherwise, chances of injury it will increase. So this thing you please remember while transporting the chicks. Then next is about the space requirement. Okay, means how much space should be given to the individual chick. Okay, so individual chick should be provided at least 24.5 centimeter square space. Okay, 24.5 centimeter square space box floor space per chick and 27 little more than the chick box floor space for the poult. Okay, poult means the newly born turkey. So these poult are bigger in size. That's why they need an extra space if you compare with the chick. Okay, then chick and poult must be able to stand erect in transport. Okay. So you see the length and height of the box. Okay, the height of the box should be support the this one. Then the chick and poult must be able to stand. Okay, while transporting. Then next is the time of hatching to farm delivery should be kept as short as possible, and ideal transport time should not be longer than 24 hours, and it should not exceed 72 hours from the time of hatching. Am I audible? All of you? Am I audible?
Sir,
Not clearly, sir. Metallic voice.
Now it is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, so should I repeat from the beginning or should I continue from here?
Continue, sir.
Okay. So these are the some special arrangement which needs to be arranged before transportation of the chicks or poultry from one place to another place. Okay, so you see the space requirement for floor space requirement for the chicks, it is 24.5 centimeter square, and for poult it is 27.1 centimeter square box floor space is required. Okay, and the partition is very important while transporting the newly born chick from one place to another place. Okay, and partition as well as the space for ventilation. Okay, to support the ventilation and for proper ventilation. Okay, and for maintaining the temperature also inside the boxes. So these are some arrangement which needs to be provided before transporting of poultry. And the next is about the timing. Okay, the timing is one should try to transport the poultry from one place to another place within 24 hours, and it should not exceed 72 hours at any cost. Okay, 72 hours means 3 days. Okay, means within 3 days the chicks should be transported from one place to another place. Okay, suppose if the timing is more than 24 hours, in that case one can provide some gel pack or alternate source of hydration should be provided if the time is more exceed the 24 hours. Okay, so gel packs or alternate source of hydration, I will give one example like watermelon. Okay, watermelon, I hope all of you know watermelon. Okay, so tarboos. Okay, watermelon can be provided to the chick in order to prevent the dehydration. Okay, if the timing is exceeding 24 hours. Okay, so if it is less than 24 hours, then no need to provide any kind of gel pack or other alternative source of hydration. Okay, so commonly used hydration source is watermelon. So watermelon, sometimes they used to one pieces, some small pieces they used to keep inside the box. Then if they feel like thirsty, then they used to eat the watermelon which used to kept inside. Okay, so these are the arrangement. So next is the general requirement in transport of poultry by rail or road or by air. Okay, so it is almost same for all the means of transportation. If anyone is transporting the poultry by rail or by road or by air, so in general all the arrangement it used to be similar only. Like this, for transporting the newborn chick, this cardboard used to used. Okay, this cardboard. So first of all, ventilation should be proper, then temperature, then the space. Okay, space requirement should be optimum. Then the chick should be able to stand. Okay, inside the boxes. So the height should be support their standing posture. Okay, then if the timing is more than 24 hours, then you have to provide some watermelon inside the boxes in order to prevent the dehydration. Okay, so next is the for adult poultry birds. Okay, for adult poultry birds means when you are transporting the adult one from one place to another place, then what are the condition needs to be followed. Okay, so first one is poultry means now I'm discussing the adult one. Okay, poultry transported from one place to another place, and you remember during transporting the adult one, you should not mix the different species of the bird. Okay, suppose broiler, then layer, okay, then turkey, then guinea fowl, then duck. Okay, so one should not mix the different species. Okay, so one type of bird should be transported in particular box. Okay, then second one is about their sex. Okay, so male animal should be transported separately and female one should be transported separately. Okay, so otherwise what will happen, the male, they are having particular tendency. Okay, they will fight among themselves. Okay, so like this some problem may arise. Okay, so for that reason better to separate the male one and the female one and transport them separately. Then next is poultry shall be properly fed and watered before transportation. Okay, so for adult one, you need to feed them and you need to water them properly before transportation. Okay, so you see the difference. Okay, so for adult one, you need to provide water as well as feed before transportation. Okay, but for young one, you should not provide water and feed. Okay, so this is the major difference while transporting the chick and the adult one. Okay, then about this third point I already explained. The male stock shall not be transported with the female stock in the same container. Okay, so if you are transporting the bird, so better to separate them age wise as well as sex wise. Okay, male one separately, female one separately, and one should not mix the different species of the bird. Okay, different species means guinea fowl, then quail, then poultry, broiler, layer. Okay, better to separate them. And the last one is about the structure of the container. Okay, suppose if you are transporting the poultry in a rectangular container, then what will happen? If there is any disturbance during transportation, then what will be the problem? The birds will accumulate in a particular corner. Okay, so if they are gathering in a particular corner, then what will happen? There will be a overcrowding and some poultry may get injured also. Okay, because of the overcrowding. Okay, sudden overcrowding. So that's why, considering this point, better to transport in a circular container. Okay, so if you are transporting the poultry in a circular container, then this overcrowding can be avoided. Okay, and there will be a less chance of getting injury also. So these are the certain points one must follow before transportation of the poultry. Then wire mesh and net of any material shall not be used as a bottom for the container. Okay, wire mesh or net. Okay, means if you are transporting the birds in a container and there should be bedding material. Okay, bedding material should be provided. Otherwise, if without bedding material, if the floor is made up of wire mesh or net, then what will happen? It will cause injury. It will cause injury or sometimes some bruises. Okay, bruises means damage to the muscle tissue also may happen. Okay, so that's why better not to use the container which is having iron net and any other material. Okay, and it will be better to provide some bedding material. And the next one is while transporting the poultry in any box, then you should while transporting the poultry in suppose by air or by sea, then better to mark the container with some words. Okay, like care in transit. Okay, so the following instruction shall be printed on the label and fixed to the lid of printed directly on the sides, and it can be written like care in transit. Like I think some of you are having experience while traveling by flight. If you are having some breakable items inside your luggage, then sometimes they used to put some care in transit or something, some printed words. Okay, sentence or words. Okay, so this type of arrangement should be taken care while transporting the poultry by flight. Then poultry shall not be transported continuously. These are the all for adult one. The adult poultry shall not be transported continuously for more than 6 hours, and whole batch shall be inspected at every 6 hour interval. Okay, so in every 6 hour interval you need to inspect them whether about their health condition. Okay, whether they are alert or not. Okay, so is there any injury or not? So these things needs to be inspected every 6 hour interval for the adult one. And the transportation shall not remain stationary for more than 30 minutes during the transportation period. Okay, so while transporting the vehicle, particularly for the vehicle, it should not remain at stationary for more than 30 minutes. Okay, so for then if the vehicle is remain stationary for more than 30 minutes, then what will happen? There will be less air circulation inside the animal cage. Okay, so as you know, the poultry they need good ventilation, fresh air for respiration. Okay, so that's why the transportation vehicle shall not be stationary for more than 30 minutes during the transportation period. So these are the certain important points regarding the transportation of poultry from one place to another place. Okay, so you try to differentiate the different methods of transportation, then transportation of chick, then transportation of adult poultry. Okay, how to transport them, what are the different guidelines. So any queries regarding this class?
No, sir.
Nivedita,
Yes, sir.
what is the definition of chick? What is chick?
Newborn poultry.
Newborn? Whether this thing already
Huh.
discussed or not with you class?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Then you go through once. Okay, what is the definition of chick? What is poult? Okay, and some other terminology also it is there. So it is quite interesting. Also, you please go through all of you. Okay. Then about the hatchery part already discussed on that hatchery management. Not yet. Somadip.
Yes, sir.
Already discussed with you.
No, sir, not discussed.
Not discussed. Sir, Mister,
Yes, sir.
why the chick should not be provided with water and feed before transportation?
So because young cheeks, like they do not, like if they are not absorbing their, so the sac, so then like it's quite difficult for them, sir.
No, actually, so let me explain it to all of you again. Okay, suppose I hope all of you know the structure of the egg. Okay, so egg, these are two components are there. One is yolk and the albumin. Okay, the whitish portion. Okay, so the yellowish portion is the yolk. Okay, and the chick is coming out from the yolk only. Okay, so after hatching also, hatching means after coming out from the eggshell, when the chick is coming out, this is called hatching. Okay, so after hatching, some portion of yolk used to be there. Okay, some little portion of yolk unabsorbed, that one is unabsorbed yolk used to be there. Okay, so that unabsorbed yolk must be absorbed within a few hours. Okay, within few hours means within 24 hours. Okay, if it is remaining still, if it is remaining unabsorbed, then what will happen? That yolk will attract the other pathogen. Okay, other pathogen, so that pathogen will create problems. Okay, problems or disease. Okay, some other sort kind of diseases. So that's why for better absorption, one should not provide extra feed and water to the chick. Okay, and why they will survive without feed? Because this yolk is a very good source of energy. All of you know, no? This yolk is a very good source of energy. So that unabsorbed yolk supplies energy to the newborn chick. Okay, that is enough. So that's why there is no need of any extra feed and water uh, for the newly born chick. But for adult one, while before transporting and during transporting, you need to feed them and you need to give them water as well as feed also. Okay. So this is the major difference while transporting the poultry, newborn one and the adult one. Okay. I hope it will be clear to you after discussing the hatchery management. Okay. So any queries? Any more queries? Sir, Mister,
Yes, sir.
any more queries? So
No,
I
sir.
request all of you to go through the this one, okay, to go through the formation of cheek, okay, from the yolk, okay, the development, okay, formation means the development of cheek from the yolk, okay, then it will be easier to all of you to understand, okay. So transportation part, it is almost over. So out of this PCA Act 1960, after that the different act and rules, okay. So out of this the drought animal rules 1965 already explained, then transportation animal rule 1978 already explained. Now next I will be explaining about the performing animal, okay, performing animal rules 1973, okay. So that will be explained in the next class. And after that the welfare aspect, I will give one or two, I will take one or two more classes for welfare aspect. So I request all of you to go through at least once, okay, whatever discussed in the previous classes regarding the welfare, what is welfare, then what are the different uh, principles of welfare, then what are the different principles of animal welfare. What are the different principles of animal welfare?
Good feeding, good housing, good health, and appropriate behavior.
Okay, so what are the 5 freedoms of animal welfare?
Freedom from thirst and hungry, freedom from discomfort,
Okay, very good.
freedom from pain,
Hmm?
freedom for pain,
Okay, then hunger and distress. Okay,
freedom
so
from fear
all
and
these,
distress.
okay, fear and distress. Okay, so these are the 5 freedom one should ensure. Okay, one should ensure while keeping the animal or while rearing the animal. Okay, they should not be suffered from any health related issue, then feed, then they should express their appropriate behavior, means natural behavior as much as possible, okay, then good health, okay, they should not suffer from any unnecessary pain. So these are the aspect of animal welfare. Then about PCA is to look after the animal welfare, okay, to certain extent. So then they have formed the different rules and regulation, okay, like drought animal rules, okay, then transportation animal rules while transporting. So these are the certain guidelines one should follow before and during the transportation of the animal from one place to another place, okay. So if anyone is not following all these guideline criteria which is listed in the rule, then that person will be accused, okay. Accused means either maybe some cognizable offenses or non-cognizable offenses. So at that case he or she will be penalized, okay, by the police, okay, if anyone is not following all these certain guidelines. So is there any more queries, doubt regarding today's class? How to transport the birds from one place to another place? So you please remember, while transporting the animal or bird, especially this one, ventilation, circulation of air, then separation inside the box, then mixing of the animal, okay, one should avoid the mixing of the different animal species. Then the bird should be able to stand inside the boxes, okay, the length should support the standing of the cheek inside the box, okay. Then about the partition, okay, partition is very important to prevent the overcrowding during the transportation, okay. Then these are all certain guidelines one should follow, okay. So you see this in this picture, this is the partition, okay, and this partition, it prevents the overcrowding inside the boxes, okay, during transportation. And the major aspect of transportation of poultry is regarding their watering and feeding. Okay, so while transporting the newborn chick, one should not provide any extra water or feed before transport and after transport also, at least for 1 day. Okay, so if it is more than, if it is exceeding the 24 hour, then in that case one can provide some water source like watermelon inside the boxes to prevent the dehydration. Okay, for rehydration purpose. Then for adult one, feeding and watering needs to be done before transportation also, and during transportation also, if the timing interval is more than 6 hours. Okay, and after 6 hours you need to inspect them about their health and all. So these are the major difference between the transportation of chick and adult one. So is it okay? Sridipa, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your second assessment exam is there in the next month, in the first week of July. Okay, so you start preparing for your second assessment. Okay, so for LPM portion, this welfare portion will be there. Then what madam is discussing, the poultry part, then about the wildlife. Okay, so from next week onwards, Sir Girin will be discussing the wildlife management. Okay, about the management of different wildlife species. Okay. Okay. Should I stop here? Should I stop here, or any doubt is there? Am I audible to all of you? Should I stop here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now it is okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.